This is All Hitches, the Nova Football Podcast.
Yo, tune in, lock in, it's the All Hitches show. Dash and Dan on the mic, let the Nova tales flow. From the booth to the field, we hitch up the truth. All Hitches podcast, drop the beat, here's the proof. Dash and Dan in the cut, bringing heat to the game.
All right, welcome back to All Hitches, Nova's #1 football podcast. Coach Mesa, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing okay. It's getting to be like during Christmas season, where Christmas is coming, and you're like, this is the end of Christmas season. We're getting toward the end of football season, right? Where I'm gonna be stuck flipping through TV trying to watch binge shows to binge watch because
we just finished the divisional round, right? And now we got coming up championship round, and I mean you're right, it's coming to the end. Always depressing, right? Like you said, as the holidays come to an end, it's depressing. As the summertime comes to an end, it's depressing. And as football season, those are the big three, right? For me. I love the holidays, I love summer, and I love football.
but so oddly enough, the nice about summer ending though is like it's the start of football season.
Football starts. It takes a little of the edge off.
It does.
It really does. There's nothing to take the edge off of winter break and Christmas ending.
No, not that. And then football season, it's just cold.
Yeah,
it's just cold, and there's no football on. I mean, I guess it's March Madness, but I'm not a big college basketball guy. So
you don't like watching the Grapefruit League?
No, I don't. Oh, that's right. You guys, I'm used to Cactus League because I'm used to.
Or what? I mean, either one.
No, but like out here, you talk about the Grapefruit League because all the teams go down to Florida.
That's true.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of? Are you that big of a fan? Or you follow?
I love the Dodgers.
Do you follow spring ball?
No.
Like the way we follow preseason football?
Oh, absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, hell, you really start watching baseball till like June, right?
Right. That's the difference, right? Yeah. Like who watches NBA preseason?
Yeah.
But NFL preseason?
Doug Craig.
Coach Craig might. You might watch the Sixers. But all of us, if you're a football fan, you're watching preseason games.
Hall of Fame game.
Hall of Fame game, right?
You get your order out, right?
Football is king, my friend.
It is.
Football is king.
Speaking of kings of football,
we got one today, don't we?
We do, yeah. A Nova legend, right?
We are on a roll with Nova legends, my friend.
Oh, you are right.
I mean, Scott Turner was awesome last week. And then to transition this week, boom, Atlanta Falcon, Westfield alum, Eugene Asante. I'm excited to have him on today.
SEC linebacker.
Auburn.
Yeah.
I played under Mac Brown at UNC.
Yeah.
Tell me, there's a blue blood right there, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to meet him. I've heard really great things about him. I know you're a big fan, and so I'm excited to hear what he has to talk about. I'm sure it's gonna be really interesting.
Hey, buddy, I'm so mad I don't have my trophy. I was gonna hold my ankle biters trophy. Eugene's responsible for the one of the only trophies that I have in the sport of football. The great sport of football is the age 7 ankle biters championship trophy, my friend.
Look at that.
We would bring Eugene around, a little end around. He'd come around, give it to Eugene. You just say, Eugene, go.
You mean you just get the ball, the fast kid?
Yeah, but Eugene was young, so you know ankle biters usually like it's 7-year-olds.
Yeah,
he had just turned 6.
Yeah,
and he was really young. And Coach OB, who we're going to talk about in a little bit, we'd always say, okay, he doesn't know what he's doing. He has no clue what he's doing because it was his first year.
Yeah,
and the other kids, the better kids were the 2-year guys.
Yeah, and
we're like, but just give him the ball, just tell him to run, and just say, run, Eugene, run. And he did it. Eugene would run and he'd score. So just always a smile on his face, always through youth league. Obviously, kind of lost touch with him as in recent years. But when I reached out to him last year as he was getting ready for the combine, and I said, "You want to come on the show?" He said, "Life is crazy right now, getting ready, go to the combine, then the Dolphins, right, all that stuff after the draft and everything." But he said, "Let's do it," and then we were able to connect recently, and he said, "Let's do it." So it's really happy to have him on.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's do it. We got Westfield legend, Auburn, second fastest time at the combine for linebackers, right? A couple years ago, and now currently Atlanta Falcon. Eugene Asante. All right, welcome now, Eugene Asante, Westfield High School alum, North Carolina, Auburn alum, and then finally now with the Falcons. Eugene, welcome aboard, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate y'all having me. For sure.
Yeah, we're excited, man. We're excited, and we've been talking for about about a year or so coming on, and I don't know if you've seen the show before, but I've talked about the title that I got a trophy around here somewhere, but I talk about my first title as a coach came as an ankle biters assistant coach, and you were one of the guys on that team, my friend.
Yeah. Think about it now, it just brings back a lot of memories, man. That's kind of where I developed my love for the game, bro. That ankle biter team. Just like every single week, just trying to go out there and perform. And I took Braddock Grove football. I took pride in playing for Braddock Grove football, and honestly, those memories that I've developed on that team is the reason why I feel like I'm in this position now. So.
Yeah, and when you and I talked about this, I wanted to ask you, on a serious note, Coach Tom O'Brien, a friend of mine, I know a friend of yours and a mentor to you as well. He passed away this past November, and I know that's something that you wanted to talk about a little bit, and just the importance of youth football, the relationships, the mentors that come with that. And the importance of all that, growing up as a kid and the bonds you make in youth football, if you wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. I can say this. My relationship with Coach O'Brien was a special relationship. Just from ever since I was a kid at the age of 7, just the way that he mentored and poured love into me, genuine love and abundant love into me. I think about it all the time, and quite frankly, it hurts me so much that he physically won't be here no more. And I think about it all the time as whether I'm going through my day-to-day endeavors or whether I'm going through practice, lifting weights. I think about it all the time. And I miss Coach O'Brien so much because just the foundation he set in terms of youth sports and the love that he brought to the practice field every single day. And I know I sit here and I've accomplished a couple things within my career, but I'm just one of the examples of the foundation that he laid. And I truly take pride in him being my coach. Not just being a coach, he was a father figure to me. My dad always used to talk about it all the time. Eugene, if something ever happened to me, if I ever passed away, just know Coach O'Brien loves you like his own son. And it's tough losing somebody like that because it was in my corner every single step of the way. It was actually at my last preseason game in Miami. And just when I went down and I got hurt, he was there for me every step of the way. I think he actually he flew back from Italy with the family and flew back from Italy to come to my game. Probably was dog tired. And was there in the stands cheering me on. And I had some other people. The funny thing is this. He didn't know I had some other people in the stands that were there to cheer me on as well. And I was talking to them after the game. And they're like, man, Eugene, there was a guy, he was wearing an Auburn jersey. And, man, he was cheering you on every step of the way. He was, come on, Eugene, let's go, let's go. Like, he was pumped in the stands. And when I got hurt, he was the first to text my phone, like, Eugene, I don't see you on the sideline. What happened? And I was just like, Coach, man, my ankle. And he's like, let me know if you need me to change my flight. You're O'Brien. And I'm like, man, the love that man had for me and the love that he had for his kids was truly be missed. So as I grow within my career now, all I want to do is make him proud. And although he's not physically here anymore, I continue to carry that thing on and try to make my coach proud.
Man,
yeah, I think that's awesome.
Well said.
And I think sometimes people from the outside don't realize kind of the bond you build with coaches, right? I think people who don't really participate in sports or kind of look at it, they see it sometimes transactional and they don't realize kind of the impact you can have. And even as coaches, right? Sometimes you coach a kid and you're with the kid all the time, and then they come back to you a few years later and they're like, man, you gave me inspiration to do this, do this with my life, do that with my life. I had a buddy the other day said that he had a guy call him up and he became a police officer, and he was like, you didn't know it, but at the time, like I had bad stuff going on in my life, and like you were like the positive male role model, and so like I attribute all that stuff to you, and I think just sometimes the impact goes so much far beyond the field, and I think sometimes they that look sometimes from the outside looking in, and even the coaches who don't even realize at the time the kind of the impact you can have on a young man.
Yeah. And, I just think about it all the time as well. I'm like, man, within that period of time of Coach O'Brien coaching me, I don't think there was a young man in the world that dialed their coach's number as much as I called Coach O'Brien. Like, I have his cell phone number embedded in my brain. Like, I could be 50 years old and I will always remember Coach O'Brien's number, because from such a long period of time, I was like, hey, Coach, you're outside. Are you ready? Like, he's picking me up, taking me home. And the family used to love having Coach O'Brien come to the house, and just the spirit that he brought. So, as a man, truthfully and honestly, I wouldn't be sitting here today in this position. I wouldn't be wearing this T-shirt without Thomas O'Brien, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's touching, Eugene. And as a friend of his, I could vouch. He talked about you all the time. He did, and he was proud of you, man.
Sure.
So usually, we'll stick with Braddock Grove for a minute. A lot of talented Braddock Grove teams around that time, and I know you and I were talking earlier off camera how Vienna and everyone knows Vienna Youth League and Gainesville. Braddock Grove we had some squads, man, back then. You guys won a couple titles back then too.
Yeah. I just think from top to bottom, I go through it and I think about all the teams that, Braddock Road had at the time. They had Coach Smith's team. They had Coach O'Brien's team, Coach Simmons' team. So many different teams that top to bottom had really good players. One thing I actually enjoyed about my journey, and I probably cherish this the most within the youth football scene, was being able to finish a practice and then being able to walk over and see, dang, this is the 155 American team. Oh, this is the Central team. And it's like, you're a young kid. You're like, man, I'm like 8, 9 years old. I'm like, man, would I be able to jump in there and get in some action? Would I be able to do something? But you're asking yourself all these questions, but you're like, man, these guys are way bigger than me, way faster than me. They'll probably kill me on that field, So just top to bottom, I feel like Braddock Road, football was such a great thing. You always had the Glory Days Bowl, which I always took pride in every single week. I'm like, every single time we played the Glory Days Bowl against Centerville, we're like, man, we got to go out there and put on a show. Them boys over up the road ain't better than us. So, my boy Noah, who played at Michigan State, is a quarterback at Eastern Michigan now, played for Centerville. So we consistently always talk, and we're like, man, Braddock Rowe was way better than Centerville youth football. He's like, bro, we always used to crush out on the Glory Days Bowl. I used to get MVP on. I was like, oh, you didn't play my team. My team, we would have dominated. So yeah, it was fun, man. I miss those days for sure.
I love it, and the funny to bring it full circle we'll bring it to Westfield now. Mm-hmm. Those Centerville teams had a lot of Westfield guys on it. And little did you know at that time. So then you go to Westfield, and we were talking off camera earlier. And one of the best compliments, it was 3 state titles.
Sure.
Right? 3 state titles for you guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Westfield at 4 years.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that. Maybe now we'll talk about that 1 year we didn't get the state title, but 3 state titles. And, those teams were so good. And Coach Mason brought it up earlier. We're talking to Coach Overton last summer to the point where he said that those Westfield teams are some of the better ones he had seen.
Yeah. And I truly believe that top to bottom, the way that the program was ran with Kyle Simmons as the head coach and John Shields as our defensive coordinator, we had Rob Everett, who was with me in Miami. He's one of our offensive coaches in Miami. He was our defensive coordinator. He was our defensive coordinator at Westfield. So that was my freshman year defensive coordinator. And I'm seeing all the different stuff he's doing in terms of technology, in terms of the game, film study, tendencies. I'm like, I'm getting a prelude to college before I was ever in college. And I remember the state championship game we played in my freshman year. We had a tendency on the Oscar Smith team when they were going to throw and pass when they're going to run the ball every single time, when they're going to pass the ball every single time. And I'm like, we're all the young guys on the sideline. Me, I'm a pup on the sidelines. Pass. And we got linebackers picking off slants and stuff like that. And it brings you so much joy because you're like, man, I'm not in there, but I feel like I'm making an impact, being able to see things and see the tendencies that coach has taught us, So Westfield, that whole experience was great. We played against great competition every single year. Stonebridge, I used to hate those boys. I'm like, man, it was quite frankly, they always kicked our ass when we played them. Um, and then we had some battles against Briarwoods. We had some battles against Centerville. That was always a big rivalry game. So just took pride in those games, and took pride in trying to perform in those games.
Yeah, no, it was fun watching those dominant teams. And like we said, I mean, you guys were inches away from maybe 4 for 4 today. And how many people go 4 for 4?
Yeah.
Close. I mean, so close. And we had lost the game before that to that Freedom team. So I mean, no shame there. That was a good team.
Yeah, great team, top to bottom. I think just all the guys they had up front. Like we were game planning. My boy Fuga, he went to Virginia Tech. We were game planning against him all day. Like, yo, we got to neutralize him up front. Just so many athletes. They had athletes from top to bottom on that team. Where like we knew it was going to be a dogfight, and just the circumstances that happened within the game made it even tougher. But you always take pride in playing in games like that.
Yeah, for sure. Now, coming out, and obviously it was UNC,
Mm-hmm.
and was that? I'm trying to remember that was after Fedor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Was that Matt Brown, UNC?
Yeah, Mac Brown. Yes, sir.
It was Matt Brown.
Mac Brown's first recruiting class. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
I met him once at a clinic. He seemed like a really nice guy.
Yeah, yeah, and truthfully and honestly, what really attracted me to them, I remember my recruiting process. I was a late bloomer within the recruiting process. I was playing running back from freshman year to junior year, and always was a good running back, but probably wasn't a natural at some of the basic movements of playing running back. And my brothers came to me, my brother Larry and Coach John Shields came to me and was like, how about you make that switch to linebacker? And I made that switch to linebacker the second week of the season. We played South County. I come off the edge. I make a big hit on the quarterback, and the rest was history. They're like, "Yo, you're a linebacker." And then from there, my recruiting process just skyrocketed. I started getting in-state schools, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, Miami, Nebraska, UCLA. All these different schools start rolling in, and it's like, dang, like. The recruiting process is kind of picking up for me. And what really attracted me to Mac Brown, I remember everybody was coming into my house giving me recruiting pitches, and Coach Brown came in with Coach Dre Bly, Coach Jay Bateman, Coach Tommy Thigpen. And there was probably about 11 people in that 3-bedroom apartment. And Coach Brown, everybody introduced themselves to Coach Brown, and my mom starting to ask questions. Will my baby be safe? My dad's starting to ask questions. How will you develop my son into a man? And all these different questions. And my little cousins are asking questions. Coach, do you think you're going to be able to turn the program around? And all these different questions. And Coach Brown, within that 30-minute span of meeting all those 11 people, was able to memorize all their first names. And every single question he was addressing them by their first name. So I said, this man has something within him that he truly cares, So I made that decision, and I don't regret that at all. I love my time in North Carolina.
Yeah, I got to see him speak a few times, and I was like, that guy could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Yeah.
Like people that hear him talk, you're like, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go up. You have a room full of coaches like, you know what? Do I need eligibility left? I think I'm gonna go play for that guy. I mean, he's definitely he's definitely passionate about the sport. That's the other thing, right? Is that you can see that his passion about the sport.
100%. It's just like, I think with him and just the way that staff like was put together, like Coach Bly came into my house, a 757 legend. And I was like, man, Coach Bly sitting in the living room with me playing a video game. He like, man, like, come on, Rue, you supposed to, you Virginia product, you supposed to come to North Carolina. Like, you see what I did back in my time, like you destined to become to North Carolina. So like, I knew who Coach Bly was. I know how legendary his career was. I know like all the things he accomplished at North Carolina, and I know what that team had and all the different talent we had. So I was like, man, it's a no-brainer to me. It came down really to Virginia Tech and them, and something about Carolina just won it over for me.
Well, in your family also, like you were in a unique position, right? I mean, it wasn't like the first time. I mean, having your older brother Larry, go through it and at Nebraska, choosing Nebraska, playing at Nebraska, and then obviously in the NFL, having a long career in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I told you I was a fan of his when he was with the Raiders. So there's that advantage, right? I mean, not their first rodeo in terms of asking the right questions and all that kind of stuff.
For sure. My brother's experience really taught me a lot on just being able to understand coaching, understand how to, in terms of the process and understanding how to be a pro. Just seeing him and how he worked every single day. My brother was a workaholic while he was in the league, and truly showed me the foundation of how to, become a pro and every single day how to, handle your process. And so at the age of 12, 13, most kids are some playing basketball with their friends. And I was at his house doing in boot camp, like, Eugene, wake up at 5 o'clock. We got to run. And I'm up all night. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to be up at 5 o'clock. Cool. Like, and I'm still up with my boys at 3 o'clock back home playing the game. I'm in Grayson, Georgia. I'm playing the game till 3. He said, Eugene, make sure you up by 5. Don't set an alarm. It's 5:03. Comes downstairs, cold bucket of water. Woo! I told you to wake up. Wake up. It's time for us to run. Like, my brother used to follow me in the car with his car early in the morning and set the pace with the car. And like, oh, you're running through the neighborhood, up the hills and all the way back home. And if I'm not running fast enough, he's honking his horn.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that'll build discipline and build character for sure.
That's good stuff.
So we have a lot of kids who listen to the show, and I always try to explain to them, I say a lot, and coming from you, the difference between a college practice and a high school practice is probably one of the biggest things, competition, right? Because every dude there, you went to some pretty big programs. Every dude there can play, right? Every dude there like has some ability. I wonder if you could just speak a little bit about how practice, how that kind of works out in practice, right? Being able to compete every day and not kind of taking reps off.
Oh yeah. I think once you get to this level, you got to understand there's kids all over that are talented and blessed with so many different abilities. And you have your unicorns. I classify certain people as unicorns, and I've seen a couple of unicorns where they can physically run, they can jump, they can do everything. They can do everything that have all the God-gifted ability. So you got to understand that you're competing against guys like that. You're competing against guys that are workaholics. You have some guys that are unicorns. You have some guys that are workaholics. You have some guys that are strategical and smart and know everything and know where the play is going to come before. So you got to be so like detail oriented. You have to be so process oriented. And in a world of instant gratification, we need more process oriented people. And it's just like I tell the kids all the time, man, you come up with a strategy for yourself, understand your strengths, hone in on your strengths, grow upon your strengths, but then also be cognizant of your weaknesses. And don't be afraid to look yourself in the mirror and look at your weaknesses and say, or don't put the weaknesses on the back burner and just focus on the strengths. Look at your weaknesses and like, man, be so super critical of it. Okay, my footwork's not good. I need to continue to improve my footwork. Oh, as my pass rush, I got to work on my bend. I got to be more flexible with my bend. So I got to do yoga. I got to do mobility therapy. I have to go do different stuff where I can open up my limbs and be more fluid and mobile. And that's something I consistently always tell myself and want to continue to work on. So it's just, you have to be so aware. You have to be so hard on yourself. And ultimately that critique of yourself is going to get you the results you need.
Yeah. And you playing in the front, the guys I know have gone to play college too, especially on the defensive side in the front. They go, you get to college and you're used to always be there. There's always a few, like maybe a big lineman. They're usually slow. They're not very good. He was like, you play big time college football, and those big dudes up front can move. There's no short, fat little guard out there anymore. You got guys who look like power forwards come off the ball, and then they got the footwork, and then their explosive is really what kind of blows their mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I've seen a lot of guys like that. I've been around a lot of guys that, I think my freshman year at Carolina, I saw so many different talented guys, and Jason Strobridge, who played in the NFL, got drafted to the Dolphins. Dominique Ross, who was a hybrid off the ball backer, that could play inside, and Chaz Surratt, who was a converted quarterback to linebacker, who ran like a deer, like he would chase things down. And as a young boy, I'm seeing all these different dudes. I knew I wasn't gonna play, so I'm doing my analysis of everybody. I'm like, man, this guy's got this. Let me add this to my game. Like this guy's got Chaz can chase people down, but Dominique he's physical in the box. Jason Strobridge is physical in the run game. And it's like just all these different people on the team. Like Tamari Fox is physical every single down, violent with his hands, knows how to shed people. Like I really became such a sponge for the game, and that's where I kind of developed my passion for it. And I feel like what Kobe talks about, that obsessive mindset. I think that's where I really developed for me.
Well, I think kind of going down there. Who are some guys, some film that you watch where you're like, I gotta watch? These are some dudes either right now currently in the league or not league. You're like. Like when you watch them, you're like, so for example, I had a guy who he went to go to the LA Rams training camp, and he talked about Aaron Donald's hands. He was like, Aaron Donald's hands. He was like, that dude could punch you in the face and you wouldn't even seen it coming because his hands are so fast. So like, who are some of your influences? Who are guys at tape that you watch, that you look at their film and you look at their technique and you're like, that's what I need to get like.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I think. A lot of people always when people ask questions like that, they always say the big name guys. I agree. Some of the big name guys I love the big name guys. Fred Warner is a dominant guy on the field. He's different on the field. He's a commander.
Like you said, those guys are unicorns, all right? Those guys have some things that just are God given.
Yeah. So I like him. I like the backer from L.A. Landman. His last name's Landman.
Yeah.
The way I don't know how many fumbles he has, forced fumbles he has on the season, but he's so cognitive of the football when he's on the field. He's like, this dude's holding the ball loose, boom, punching, like he's peanut punching everything, and he's just so cognizant of the ball. So I love his game. I love what he brings in terms of getting the ball out. When I was a young backer, I loved Devin White. I still love Devin White. Devin White chases things down. Extremely explosive on the field. He can take a false step in his key as a backer, and he can go make a TFL in the backfield. He's just that fast. He's just as explosive. I gotta give love to the linebackers I play with, man, in Miami. I love Willie Gay. Willie Gay is the same type of way. Willie Gay is an explosive linebacker, able to chase things down sideline to sideline, but is also physical within the run game, like being to be able to cause havoc within the run game and shed blocks. And probably the best linebacker in football this past season, because he played the full year, my boy Jordan Brooks in Miami. Jordan Brooks got everything. He got every single tool in the tool belt, able to cover, able to blitz. Some of the different things he does in terms of blitzing, working his hands. You can't block him with a running back. So those are the guys I love, man. I tell them all the time, man. I'm like, bro, I love watching y'all play every Sunday. So I just take things from their game and try to add it to mine.
I got one for you, a Divine Diablo.
Divine too.
Yes. Yeah.
Divine actually hosted me on my visit to Virginia Tech when we were talking about that when I got to Atlanta. Man, Divine, man, like converted safety to backer, can run, can hit, has the ability to really cover because of his safety background. The coaches feel so comfortable putting Divine on a slot because he has the ability to do it. He's done it before, and for that size, like the way that he moves is freakish.
I did not want to. I was really upset when he left Vegas. I was really upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call on Divine.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, when you got, because as fans, right, and we watch it, and all you ever hear about and see is SEC. Oh, it's different. It's different. How different was the SEC?
I think the SEC was different, truthfully and honestly, in terms of when you talk about bigger, stronger, and faster. I think the game speed in the SEC was a little more different than how it was at Carolina. I think in terms of how college football now is, I think it's becoming minimized. All the good players, everybody's going different places. It's not, the SEC is just hoarding all the talent. But when I was there early on, I felt like, man, like these dudes, we got this receiver's running 4.2. We got this DB that runs 4.30. Like And it was just like, it's insane to see top to bottom, just the skill level. And it's like, as for me, I'm like watching all these unicorns around me, and I'm like, okay, God has blessed me with certain tools and certain things within my tool belt. Let me work my tail off so I can get to that status, so I can get to that point to where, okay, the speed is there, the strength is there. I'm going hard in the weight room. The 2022 year, the way I developed my body and changed my body, I grew from 207 to like 220, and just working my tail off in the weight room, and being able to maintain speed and doing my speed workouts. So it was big, especially going to Auburn.
Yeah, and then at the combine, second fast was it? Am I right on that? Second fastest. That's impressive stuff, man.
Yeah. I went to the combine, and blessed with the opportunity to go to first. I went to the Senior Bowl. Blessed with the opportunity to go to the Senior Bowl, and didn't originally have the combine invite. My agents were telling me, "Man, you go to the Senior Bowl and knock it out the park. You'll be able to get that combine invite." And second day of practice, I did really well. The second day, yeah, I think my agents called me like, check your phone. So I checked my phone, and it's like, man, you've been invited to the NFL scouting combine. I was like, dang, man, like that's a childhood dream. You know, for years, the combine's on in the Asante household. I'm watching it. The only combine I really didn't get to really watch was my brother's combine. My brother went to the combine 15 years before I went to the combine. So my mom, my dad were big. My dad was a school teacher, and my brother's combine time conflicted with our school. And I said, Dad, can I stay home to watch Larry do the combine? He said, no, son. You're taking your ass to school. So I said, damn. So I get home. I'm like, what do you run? And then my family's like, dang, he could have ran better. He ended up running 4.6. So I knew when I went, I was like, man, in my mind, like my brother probably was not even a 4.6 guy, but just people don't know the combine and different things within the combine. It's like it's built to put that pressure on you in that moment, man. I got on that line. When I got on that line, I felt all the pressure in the world, you know, and you have to be able to hone in that moment and just be where your feet are and be present in that moment. Be like, man, I'm going to execute. I'm going to stick to my training. I know how to run. I'm going to execute. So 15 years later, my mentality was like, man, I got to go avenge my brother. I got to go. He wasn't a 4.6 guy. I got to go knock it out the park for him. So I texted him right before, 2 minutes before I stepped on the line. I was like, bro, don't worry. I got you today. And went on the line, ran 4.48, had the fastest time for a little minute. I crossed the line. My agents told me the time. Actually, Reggie Wayne told me the time. Reggie Wayne walks by me, the receivers coach, and the legendary receiver Reggie Wayne walks by me. He tells me 4.48. I say, okay. I'm thinking like, dang, I have more in the tank. I'm thinking I got to get a low 4.2. And my agents talk to me. They're in the end zone. We're celebrating. We're like, everything. And I text my brother. He's like, man, you got the fastest time right now. Like, just get ready for the next run. Kid from UCLA, Kane Madrano, who I love and respect his game. He's a baller, man. He's over with Washington. Gets me by point two.
Oh.
So the pressure's on. Pressure's on again. Pressure's on again with Kane Madrano going and got it. So I'm like, dang, I got to go get him.
Yeah.
And I didn't get him the second run. So, but it was a blessing to be there, man. A blessing to go through the drills, and just being able to show your talents in front of the world.
I do think people who don't, and most people watch the show kind of understand this, but the point two when you gain speeds that fast is a lot. I mean, I don't think people really appreciate, like, everyone's like, oh, just 200ths of a second. 200th of a second is huge in when you're running that fast, right? When if you're talking about slow 40s, I mean, it's not a big thing, but when you're running at that kind of speed, I'm curious, at the end of your 40 though, did you know? Because a lot of times, right? A lot of times guys, when they finish their run, like, they kind of know. Because you can't tell when you feel like, you're like, man, that my get off felt really good, right?
Yeah.
I can feel myself form. Did you? I mean, I'm not saying did you know you had the fast time, but you're like, that was a good run when you got done.
Yeah. So with my first 40, I'm gonna be so honest with you. I felt like I got out super clean. Got out super clean in my 40. I just had a little hiccup probably on my third step. I felt like maybe I like with my third step, I don't know if it was like I was like super leaned over to where I was catching myself a little bit.
Yeah.
But I felt like I got out. Like that was the best I got out,
Out
even
of blocks.
within my training and everything. So I'm like, and that was the priority for me. I was training in Pensacola with Exos and Coach Woody, Coach Jimmy. They did a great job in getting me to that point and, coaching me to that point and working through my techniques and working through my start. And they're like, Eugene, if you maintain your start, you have an explosive start. But if you maintain that and being able to consistently drive and work the drive phase and keep your feet low to the ground, I think you're going to run a fast time. And uh, so when I got out, I was like, man, I got out on that one. And then, but I felt like I was straining a little bit too much. Like, sometimes when you're running, you're not really supposed to tense up. You're supposed to be smooth in your movement. And I was like super tense, like because that moment is just so much pressure in that moment. But then Reggie tells me the time, and I'm like, man, 4:48 is a great time. The whole time I was visualizing. I was right in Pensacola. I was like, I would run the fastest 40 time at the combine, and I will run a 4:47. So I ended up running 4:48, and which was and then made it happen. So.
Well, I think what you talked about too, because when I worked with receivers, we do a lot of block work, oddly enough, because I feel like receivers is very similar, right? When you have the blocks, I don't think people again respect getting out of the blocks is so important. I mean that getting power out of the blocks sometimes can be the difference between, like you said, 2/10, 3/10 of a second right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why I emphasize to a lot of people just having that track background.
Yeah.
I talk to the guys now. I tell the guys that are going to be combine eligible and for a year from now, like get an extra speed session in a week.
Yeah.
Not just your normal stuff you do with the coach. Get a personalized speed session in every week and start learning the techniques now. So you're not crunched within that 2 months of trying to learn it, that 8 weeks of trying to learn it within a combine period. And if you work on it now, work on your mobility now, work on your flexibility, work on your drive phase, work on your technique. You get there, you get on that line, you're going to be so prepared. It's nothing to you. You're knocking it out the park.
Yeah.
Eugene, it sounds like, I mean, listen to all your stuff. You're a very goal-oriented guy. Even talking about the time, right? Like 4:47, you got 4:48. Going forward, right? This year, I know you had the hiccup, with the ankle, but then now you are with Atlanta, which is awesome. What are some goals you got, heading in to 2026, upcoming season, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think about that thing. I think about my goals all the time, and obviously my goals. I have so many goals on the field in terms of what things I want to do. But honestly, first and foremost, I think I want to be an example to so many people. I want to live my life the right way. I want people to see me and be like, man, like Eugene carried himself he the right way, and he went about his business the right way. And I just want to be an inspiration to those kids that feel like, man, I was too small, or I couldn't do certain things because of my limitations. And certainly being in the position that I am in, in the NFL, where they criticize everything. You hear those things within your head as a player, and you're like, those things don't define me as a player on the field. My arm length, my height, how much I weigh don't define if I'm going to be able to fit my gap with physicality and with violence. So I just want to be an example to those people that are overlooked. But with on the field, I think for me, build my foundation. Understand a guy like me is going to have to get it out the mud in terms of special teams, building my foundation on special teams. And I really want to be a Swiss Army knife on special teams. I've been studying playing gunner. I have the speed to be able to play out in gunner and being physical on corners that try to press me and stuff like that. So playing within the core, playing on punt pro, being able to set back and then be like an extra gunner in coverage, being able to fly down the field. And then through that, I know my role will always increase. You do your job well, you get an extended role, and that's on defense. Being able to provide on defense in terms of if they need me to come in on third down and cover somebody, and which I feel very comfortable doing, covering somebody, being like an extra safety. And then being able to be physical in the run game, or even within blitz packages, they want to send me off the edge, send me in the interior, just being somebody that can do all things.
I think that's really cool. I mean, I know like I said, we talked before about NFL being a business, but I think what you said is really important because even in high school, right, there are guys who aren't on the field but have a chance to go play special teams. Like coaching for as long as I have, go show out the special teams, man. If you're on kickoff and you go blow someone up, I guarantee you someone's gonna be like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
that guy can do that." So guess
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? You're gonna get more reps, right? You go down, you make a big team on special teams, or even on kickoff return, you make a big block. You do something big out there. I think that's just a good piece of advice for every level, right? Anytime you get a chance to get in the field, you go out and show and prove, and that's gonna build your resume, which then will possibly promote you to the next level, right?
100%. You want a bigger role, go out there and dominate your role and take pride in your role and don't pout about what you're doing within that role. Do your job for the team to the best of your ability, and somebody will notice it. And in the NFL, they got so many eyes. They got so many eyes. They got eyes in your building. They got eyes in Atlanta. They got eyes in Miami. They got eyes in Cleveland. But they got eyes with all 32 teams. So just building your resume like that.
Well, something tells me you'll be achieving some of these goals, Eugene. I know you well enough. I think that's going to happen, buddy. I got to ask you before we go a couple things. One, is it true? Someone told me that you're a big art guy.
Like art, yeah. I actually I got an art collection.
That's what someone told me. So that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I got my art collection. I got my painting. I'm trying to get it into the Muhammad Ali Museum. I think it is in Kentucky somewhere. I think Lexington, probably in Kentucky.
Right. Yeah.
So I've actually been trying to communicate with the gallery and trying to get that piece in there, just for people to see it. It's a painting of Muhammad Ali, and he's surrounded by butterflies and bees, and it's just like it's a beautiful concept. He's like it's in the sky. He has his boxing gloves on the side. And it's just a beautiful concept. Multicolored butterflies and bees, and it's like it has float like a butterfly, sting like a bee on the side. And it's like, man, I'm trying to get in there just to.
That's pretty cool, man.
For sure.
That's cool.
Sure.
As someone that doesn't have an artistic bone in his body, but I do appreciate. I mean, I've been to the Lou. I've gone to. My wife takes me to these things. I try and stay cultured.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's probably a lot of respect, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Is that something you use kind of help mental health wise? Because I know a guy who's really into art. And he was like, anytime I'm stressed, I break out my sketchbook and I kind of go and just kind of decompress. Is that something you use as well to kind of?
Yeah. I think I've always had like an artistic gene in me. I've always been like that since I was young, and just I feel like it's kind of caught. As you put everything into the football and you work within the football, but it's like you're trying to find things outside of the football and, trying to hone in on skills and just trying to find what you love outside the game. And I was like, man, like one day when I have a house, man, my house is going to be decked out with art. And, that's how I'm going to be able to, make my house come to life and show my personality through the art. And a lot of it right now is concepts with athletes I truly admire. I love Muhammad Ali. I grew up loving Sean Taylor. Big Sean Taylor fan. That's why I wore 21 on our little league team, and it's just like so many different athletes that I admire their stories, and it's like I feel like their stories kind of helped me in my journey and are a part of me. So I want that in my house for sure.
That's awesome.
That's phenomenal. That's awesome. Last thing I'm going to ask you before we go, we were talking with Scott Turner last week. Got to ask you the same question here. Now, Alexandria guy, you spent time in obviously the Centerville area as well. When you're back home, what's the spot that Eugene wants to get a good bite to eat? Because Mason and I are always talking about different spots and all that. What's one of Eugene's favorite spots?
Yeah, there's plenty of spots, plenty of great. Oh, come on now, that's a great question. Me, it wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right if I didn't say Meat Project. It's a Korean barbecue.
Okay.
When I was in high school, it opened up. Me and Noah Kim in Centerville were going to Meat Project with the fam. And this is when it first opened up. Sam Kim is the owner of it. Built a great relationship with Sam. And he was like, man, when you guys become big football stars, man, you guys can come into my restaurant and, you get your NIL deal with Meat Project. So every time we go there, Sam Kim takes care of us, man. He's a great dude. They built one location in Centerville, and they just built a second location in the Fairfax area.
Okay.
So,
The
yeah.
neat project. I'm going to check that out. Maybe I'll take my wife there. I got to check it
Yeah,
out.
yep. Unlimited. It's like unlimited. All different types of Korean dishes and bulgogi, galbi,
Yeah.
all the different types of beefs and stuff like that. It's great.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Man, Eugene, thanks for coming on, man. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Sure.
that was awesome, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, it was fun coming on. Yes, sir.
This is great, and we'll be cheering for you, man. I'll be this season coming up, and have a great off season, obviously, but getting ready for 2026, and grab it by the horns, man. Dominate. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Do your thing. All right, thanks, Eugene. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Yes, sir. And War Eagle. Hey.
There it is. There it is. All right, welcome back. What a phenomenal young man.
Oh yeah, excellent. I mean, just really inspiring too. A lot of stuff he said. I mean, just kind of shows the work ethic. I mean, what a great kid, and what a yeah. The Atlanta Falcons got a good one in him, right? They I mean, I would be surprised if he's one of those guys that slowly makes it up the ladder, and he's contributing quite a bit on Sundays.
I agree. I mean, you talk about someone, and when we said goals, and I was I'm expecting him to say football stuff. Right away, what does he say? He says, being a good role model,
Yeah.
doing the right things, and then it was like the third thing was like, and obviously,
Football.
maximizing football and doing that, but right away it was just being a good human being,
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
and not kidding. That's a guy who is goal oriented.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he wrote down. I can't get over this. Who writes down? I'm going to get a 4.47, which is really fast for a linebacker at the combine, and then gets a 4.48. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean Again, that just kind of speaks to his work ethic. Speaks to his drive, which is
Right.
What seems really cool.
Yeah, really impressive. And you and I were talking over the summer about that, and then we brought it up in the interview. But I mean, those Westfield teams were really good, man. Even that year that they didn't win it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, super dominant, right? I mean, Division I guys all over the place on that team. Just yeah.
Yeah, fun. I mean, it's a great and I'm a Falcons fan, man. I'll root for whatever team he goes to. I'm going to root for. That'll be my side team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
checking out how he does every week, right?
and I forget, did the Falcons, did they move on from Raheem Morris?
They did.
They did. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, who knows? Maybe by the time we go to print, but by the time we go to press, maybe there will be a coach there.
Yeah, possibly.
Speaking of coaches, and one thing before we go, kind of updating everyone on the latest. We got Hayfield.
Hayfield
Now is hiring a coach.
Yeah. And Wakefield, all the fields.
Yeah, Hayfield and Wakefield. Interesting. Now, Coach Martin, Clarence, old friend of mine, stepping down, right? I think he's doing athletic office stuff.
Yeah.
Right, kind of a passion for him, what he wants to do career-wise. And then, and I believe I'd seen that the former Hayfield coach got a job somewhere in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
So that job is now open for the second time in 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, both good jobs. I think both are excellent jobs.
I agree. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think one was started at Hayfield. I think that's a really good job for a couple of reasons. I mean, they used to. I mean, they used to win that conference with ease.
I mean, and they almost did this year, right? They were
on a down year, you could say.
They're right on the precipice, right? They just kind of got to a slow start, and
right,
which was to be expected when you hire a coach in August. But they came on towards the end of the season, and yeah, I mean they're right there.
Yeah, you and I agree on that. That's a good job, right? Good football job, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I think that's a good football job. I agree. I think
a lot of talent, a lot of talent walking around there, and they're a secondary school.
Right, secondary school,
which is really
right. Good call. I know a year ago people might have said not a great job. Things were still in flux.
Yeah, but
I think a year later, they show they still have talent there. So. I agree. I think it's a good job. I think
absolutely.
I think they should, if people are smart. And you and I made some predictions last offseason about good jobs that we were right about.
Yeah.
I think if people are listening to us and they're smart, they're gonna have more applicants this time around than they did last time.
Yeah. Maybe we should apply.
Yeah, you know what? Like a 1-2 punch.
There
You
you
can't
go.
make a game, then I go and if I can't make it,
We did that this year.
that's true. A lot easier to do that at freshman, isn't it? And we still won.
Yeah.
Most
We
important.
could. How about this? We switch off one game. You do the Friday night show, and I'll coach. And the next,
Yes.
we'll do it every week, right?
Yes, we should take a poll on that. Who wants us to apply for the Hayfield job and do the show at the same time? We could wear GoPros as we do the show, as we coach on the sidelines. Make it
We
real
probably,
interactive.
we probably still have terrible Wi-Fi.
That's true. The Wi-Fi is terrible. And then the Wakefield job. I will say this about the Wakefield job, and I know they struggled. That the conference really got really good the last few years. With Langley having the resurgence, Hearn didn't have those really 2-3 good years. I think. Am I missing anyone? Obviously, W&L. But I think, and I'm not trying to say anything crazy here, I think you're going to see a little bit of coming back to earth from some of those teams.
That and Wakefield's not devoid of talent. I mean, they
Right.
have some pretty talented, and I know they were really young last year too, right? They had like a freshman quarterback at one point. They've got some really young talent.
Yeah, they had a really good freshman class that I know they were excited about.
Yeah. So I think, and we saw them a few years ago, and they were a playoff team.
Yep.
I mean, I know we're getting a little farther away from it, but I mean, they were really good. They had big offensive linemen, they had big backs, like they were pretty. They had that one receiver who was really talented, who we kicked off too, unfortunately, and
Yeah, and they've had some bad luck I didn't want to kick to that guy. I told you I didn't want to kick. I'm on record.
I didn't tell you to
Where's
kick to
Coach
him.
Crush? Where's Coach Crush? I said, Coach, should I don't want to kick to him. Go ahead and kick to him. All right, fine. Damn it. Always listen to your gut, kids. Always listen to your gut. He just looked fast.
He did look fast, and he was.
He was very fast. But yeah, so fun stuff, man. Good interview. We got a lot of other ones good coming up. We got the Parkers.
We do
coming up. I'm excited about that. We're going to have the Parker family.
Yeah.
We've never done. Well, actually, we have on the live show. We've had a bunch of talking heads before. So this will be for an interview though on our podcast. This will be the most talking heads at one time. We'll have 5 of us.
It will be.
So that'll be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. And then we got, I believe, the Adam Schefter of Nova, Carl Frederick, has a big thing happening at the end of January.
Oh.
And he was growing up.
Is it not watching the Eagles play?
That's what you get, Carl. Carl, talk the talk. You got to walk the walk.
Yeah.
Poor Carl.
Yeah.
Poor Carl. We love Carl. All right. Well, good stuff, buddy. And that's a wrap till next time.
Yep.
From Dash and Dan, all Hitches. We'll see you next time.
See ya.